Hi everyone. Hey, I wanted to get on here. Um, I have some videos I need to upload for you guys, but I wanted to get on here today to warn you about an online scam that I got taken on because I don't want it to happen to you guys. And this is about pet supplies that I ordered, but this can happen to anyone no matter what you order. So that's why I wanted to tell you about it. I just want you guys to be safe. So I was scammed last week by an online website, and it took me a while to figure out that I was scammed. And I'm going to explain everything to you that happened. So what happened was Friday, this past Friday. Today is, what is today? Today is Wednesday, and it's February 5th. So this was last Friday. I buy all of my pet supplies through Chewy.com, which is a fantastic, phenomenal company. I just love Chewy. And they've always been great to deal with, and their customer service is out of this world. It's like #1 customer service. So I always buy things from Chewy. I have to... Hang on a second, guys. I gotta take some of this stuff out of here. I'm gonna show you what happened to me on a couple of things here. Let me get rid of that. So anyway, like I was saying, my dog needed some stuff. I usually buy everything from her from Chewy, and I wanted to order her the stuff she needed. So I went on Chewy, and I went to the canned food. I usually buy her Purina Pro Plan. She gets dry and wet food combined. And then I also give her fresh roasted chicken as well that I get at Sam's Club. But I went to buy this. I went to Chewy, and I went to buy this Purina Pro Plan. I'll show you. So this is Chewy, a great site, very reputable. But I went to buy this Purina Pro Plan right there, and it comes in 12 cans in a case. And do you see the price there? If I buy it once, it's $32.40. If you get auto ship, it's $21.06. I normally just buy it once. I don't do the auto ship on anything because I don't want my cards to be constantly run. But anyway, as soon as I clicked on this, I have a browser extension, and I'm sure a lot of you probably have a browser extension that you use to save money, and it's called Capital One Shopping. And I'll show you up here. Do you see where it says 1% right here, and the S is behind it? That's Capital One Shopping browser extension. So what it does, I clicked on it, and right now it's going to give me 1% back at Chewy for whatever I order. And it found 4 codes for Chewy that I can try and use to see if I could get money off. Get 20, and these are the codes it found. So it scans codes, but also what it does is if it finds a different website that... So if it finds a different website that has the same product you want cheaper, it will direct you to that website to look at it to see if you would rather buy it there, where it'll save you some money. So that's exactly what it did. When I went to order Purina Pro Plan, it said, hey, we found it cheaper. It popped up a box and showed it to me and said, click here to see the other site. So I did. And when I did that, hang on, I'm going to turn this around again. It brought me to a different site, which I have up here, and I'm going to show you. So it brought me to this site, you guys. See the name of this? Kazo Shop, Kazoshop. So I looked around this, I'm like, wow, this is an actual pet store. And it was way cheaper. So Chewy's price for the canned food was like $32 for 12 cans. On this website, can't remember what it was. I think, oh, it was like $12.99 for the same. And I thought, and then I looked around. I said, $12.99? That's way cheaper. And then I looked around at other stuff I buy her, and everything was amazingly cheaper than Chewy. And I thought, well, maybe Chewy's ripping people off. But honestly, I've seen other places sell the same stuff Chewy does for around the same price as Chewy sells them for. So when I found this shop, I thought, wow, that's crazy. So I checked where they were. They have, it looks so legitimate, you guys. They have their contact information at the bottom. If you could see here, it says that they're located in Chicago on Ingleside Avenue. Now, I was born and raised in Chicago and lived there all my life until I came down here. Well, for most of my life until I came down here last year to Tennessee, Kentucky area. And so I know about where that location is. I've never seen this shop when I was in Chicago because it wasn't near where I lived. But anyway, it also had a phone number. Did you see it had a phone number? 323-942-4054. And then I checked other stuff, and it has a login. I mean, everything looks so legitimate. You know? It says login, cart, all that stuff. Well, it turns out that this website was a scam. Do not use this website. Do not. But I also thought because Capital One Shopping directed me to this website, I felt like it was safe because it was Capital One. Now you can, just so you know, Capital One Shopping is a browser extension that anybody can use. So you do not have to have a Capital One credit card to use this browser extension. You can just have the extension and not have a card, and you'll still save money. And it's always done great for me. I've never had a problem. I've had this extension on my computer probably, I don't know, 10 years or whenever. It's been years and years that I've had this browser extension. It's always done well for me. So I thought, well, that's fine. I'm sorry, let me get my hand out of the way here. I thought it was a safe place to order from because it basically, Capital One Shopping always gave me a safe place to order. So I never thought about it. So I decided to order all my stuff from this kazoo shop. And when I was done placing the order, it did give me an order number. I thought, cool. And which I took a picture of, by the way. I took a picture of the order number. I always do stuff like that. And I took a picture of the website because I never heard of it. And I wanted to make sure I had it on my phone for reference if I needed to go back to them. So after I placed the order, I waited for an email confirmation like every company usually will send you. Thank you for your order. We're working on it, whatever. And I checked, and I never got an email confirmation. But I looked around the website. You know, this website, I'm going to turn around, has everything on it that's so legitimate. Like, it's also got, like, frequently asked questions. Right here, I went to their frequently asked questions page. It said, you know, how long will it take to get your order? I clicked on that. It said 5 to 7 days. Once they ship it, they'll send you a tracking number, and they ship with USPS and something else, or UPS and something else. So when I didn't get a confirmation email, I thought, well, it's probably a shop in Chicago, and I hope that, never mind, guys. Anyway, it's probably a shop in Chicago. And they're busy, and, you know, I was making excuses why I didn't get this confirmation. So I waited until Monday, which was 2 days ago. Today's Wednesday. And I went and checked again, and I still didn't get an email confirmation. So I called that phone number that I showed you, that 323, which, by the way, 323, as far as I know, is not a Chicago area code. That is not even a Chicago area code. And I never thought of it because people have cell phones these days for businesses. If they have corporate offices, their cell phone numbers could be out of different locations. So I was always making an excuse for this company. So I said, I'm going to give them a call and make sure they got my order because they charged my card for like $79.25 or whatever it came to, something on that order. When I called the phone number, it went to like the voicemail is full. It said the voicemail is full, and I'm like, that's weird. You know, why would the voicemail be full on a business like this? So as I was hanging up the phone because I couldn't get through to someone, I noticed my phone said I was calling California, not Chicago. And right away, that kind of alerted me, and I'm like, wait a minute, okay, I haven't gotten an email confirmation. Now the phone number, when I call it, goes to a California number instead of Chicago, and the voicemail's full. So that made me nervous. I think that's when I decided to check my bank. Well, when I checked my bank, the charges were there pending, and it was for some, it was a weird name. It was like YS something, YSP asterisk something that didn't make any sense. It didn't say Kazoo Shop at all. Nothing. So I said, that's it. Something's wrong. I think I was scammed. That's when I decided I was probably scammed. I called my bank, and my bank is still in Chicago. I moved down south, but I never changed my bank because I love my bank. I've been with them since like 1996, and they've always been great. They don't charge me for anything. There's no fees or anything. And when I moved here, I figured you don't really need a bank. You don't need a physical building. You hardly go there anymore to banks. Everything is online. Even if I get a check in the mail, like a tax refund check or something, I could take a picture of it and submit it on my app for my bank and all that stuff. So really the only time I would need them is if I wanted to withdraw money. And what I would do in that case is just go to the grocery store or something, buy a candy bar, and ask for cash back. So I really never thought, I said, I'm going to leave my bank right where it is because I like the company that I use, which is, well, I'm not going to say what it is. But anyway, I didn't have access to my bank either. But I called them on Monday, and I explained the whole story of what happened and why I think this is a scam. And when he looked into my bank account, he said they actually charged me twice. They have 2 fees on here, and the charges were both pending. One was for $2 and something for an international fee, and the other one, he told me that the charge was from Korea. None of this makes sense. So he said, what I suggest is we cancel this card right away because they're going to keep charging you. So he canceled my bank card, my debit card, and he said he couldn't put a dispute online for me yet because the charges were pending, which means they were approved. And he can't put in a dispute on the charges for me until they're actually posted. So he said once they're posted, call him back and they would file a dispute on those charges. So I had to wait until yesterday, which was Tuesday, and I looked on my bank account, and sure enough, those charges were posted, the $79 and the $2 and whatever it is. And I filed a dispute with my bank. Now, he said it's going to take a couple of weeks before we get an answer, but they're going to reimburse me the money, but it will take like 2 weeks before their investigation is completed. But in the meantime, I also don't have access to cash at all because he canceled my card. So now my debit card is canceled, and I can't use it, which I used it for everything. No matter what I did, I used my debit card. I bought gas with it. I bought groceries with it. Restaurants, whatever. I always use my debit card, which I can't do. So I'm kind of messed up right now that way because my bank's, the problem is if I lived in Chicago still, I could go to my bank and walk in the door and they would issue a new debit card right away. But because I moved south here and I'm 500 miles away from the bank, I obviously can't walk to the bank and get a new card, so they had to mail it to me. So I won't see another card for about a week from yesterday, which will put it about Monday or Tuesday next week. So in the meantime, I have no access to cash, and I would have to use my credit cards for any purchases until I get my new debit card. But another problem is I have my debit card on file. everywhere, like on my Amazon account, on Microsoft, on Google, on, on my, everything I do online, I use my debit card for. So I may have to go back when I get this new card and cancel all those and re-enter the new information. And some of my bills are also paid through my debit card, which luckily all my bills were paid when this happened. So I didn't really owe anybody anything, that they were auto withdrawals. They weren't going to be doing auto withdrawals, so I didn't have to worry about that part. But it's just a big pain in the neck, guys. Be careful for this website. Be careful if you think because you're using Capital One Shopping or Microsoft Shopping or whatever extension you use, just because it's sending you to a website with a better price doesn't mean it's a legitimate website. So I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of that, because I don't want what happened to me to happen to you. It's awful. It's awful. And it takes time to fix it. And you might be out of your money until it gets fixed. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew what happened to me, basically, so it doesn't happen to you. I hate scammers. It's one of my... I can't stand scammers. They're just awful people that take advantage of other people. And I wanted to tell you what happened to me, so you know. So what my daughter said, she said she was thinking like me, like Capital One sent you there, they should be aware that that site was a scam. But the problem is, she said, Mom, I don't think that's the case, because I think what they do is it's just a browser extension that searches for better prices. It has no clue whether that website is legitimate or not. It'll just send you to the lower price, which I think she's right. I think that's exactly what happened. It just found a lower price, so it sent me over to this kazoo place, and I got screwed, basically. But it's temporary. My bank, like I said, will handle it for me, and I will get my money back. It's just going to take a couple of weeks before I do. So yeah, I wanted to let you know to be careful for those extensions, because just because it sends you somewhere, it doesn't mean it's a legitimate place it's sending you to. Okay, so Sweet Pea's been over here going crazy because I'm in another room, so I'll just show you. After all, it was her. You're the reason I got scammed, girl. There she is, guys. This is what she does. She bounces up and down because she wants to be with me. She's such a sweet dog. She's crazy, but she's sweet. So anyway, you guys take care. That's my story. I wanted to try and save you a heartache, and I hope it helps in the future to be very careful with those extensions that help save you money, because it could actually take your money sometimes, like it did for me. So you guys have a great day, and you take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.